Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you real soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Like, share, subscribe.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you. And I think you'll have to listen. Because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day. My beginning will be as bright as the sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so right, it's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart, doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give, something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now
See
I
this?
know.
How you cannot go
Baby,
here?
baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give, something's telling me it's right.
Neighbors and the
When you
community
came to me,
compelled
who
to
are
scour
you?
the area.
It's you, yeah, boy.
Where does the fault lie on you?
Hey family, how's everybody doing? Check this out, you guys. I want to thank you guys for showing up. Make sure you hit the like button as you come in. Speak to everyone as they are speaking to you. Come on in. Let's share. Let's stay in here for a little bit. It is Friday. We know what time it is. Yes. Hey Tina, how you doing? Thank you for showing up and being first in the class. Ruby's in the building. Hey Ruby. Hey family. And then we got Lisa Taylor. Good afternoon, Lisa Taylor. Always showing up. That's my girl. We got Nancy Lee Rose up in the building. She says, I'm here. So you guys, let me see. Let me keep going. Let me keep going. And we got Beth. Beth is in the building. Beth Hamilton. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the chat, you guys. I was looking up something, you guys, because I was thinking about Jarvis. Okay, because today is March the 6th. So we got 6 more days. Okay, so we take the weekend out because, today's Friday, so Saturday and Sunday, that's going to take off too. So it's going to be 8, 8 days. I mean, we're going to be 8 days into March. And so Monday will be the 9th day. And then Tuesday be the 10th day. Wednesday be the 11th day. And Thursday. So next week, you guys, Thursday, I'm pretty sure we're going to come on. We're probably not going to come on Wednesday so that we can get that. But I'm going to tell you right now, as the word is out there, I want you guys to know that, yeah, Jarvis already said and we all know this. If you don't know it now, you do know it now. You know it is kind of in stone. He already said that he threw her in the Rue River. That's not news to us. That's what we said from day one. It ain't gonna be nothing more significant. He's not gonna say he put her in this house. He put her in this car. They went to Ypsilanti Annie. You know, I mean, he can't really go in there changing up his story. If he told the police that he threw her in the Rue River, you guys, did you hear what I said? Don't think come when March the 12th come, he's going to change. He's going to say something different because then they won't even give him the plea. But I want to share something with you guys before we, like I said, we're not going to stay on here. Just some things because I was questioning some stuff. It says based on your question about the Rue River, okay. I thought to myself, let me go to AI and ask the question like, if you threw a body in the Rue River, where would it end up at? So it says based on your question about the Rue River in the Detroit area, if you were to float down it, you would primarily move south and east through Wayne County, passing through areas like Dearborn and River Rue before ultimately emptying into the Detroit River near Zung Island. Zung, Hug, Zug Island. It's got to be Zug, it's Z-U-G. Here is where a float on the Rue River in Detroit will go. The river flows into a generally southeastern direction through western Detroit and Dearborn. The lower, heaviest industrial section of the river, south of Michigan Avenue, flows past the Ford Rue plant. Endpoint. The river empties into the Detroit River at the boundary between southwest Detroit and the city of the River Rue. Water trail. There is a development Rue River water trail that covers part of the river with some navigable sections, particularly in Dearborn and the lower industrial search. The Rue River, spelled with an O, is in West Michigan near Grand Rapids and flows into the Grand River, while the Rue River is the one in the Detroit metropolitan. Okay. My birthday is Friday, the 13th, and if they find her body, that will be the worst. And sad day. Okay. Beth said that will be close to her birthday, one day before her birthday. All right. Happy birthday to you. Early. So, yeah, let me put your comments up here so everybody can see them. If they can't see, maybe they can see them that way. I thought the Rue River emptied into Lake Erie. I don't know why I thought it. I thought it did. Let's question it and ask it if it does, because I thought it did. Do the Rue River empty in Lake Erie?
The Rouge River in Michigan flows into the Detroit River and then into Lake Erie. It's different from the Rogue River in Oregon, which goes to the Pacific, and another Rogue River in Michigan that flows into the Grand River.
Okay, so the Rue River in Michigan does empty into the Detroit River, which then flows into Lake Erie. Okay, so yeah, I kind of thought that's the way I don't know my geographics that well. I just remember reading something about the Lake Erie, like the Rue River in that, like you have the Palencias and stuff. So I'm gonna share this with you guys. Like, I mean, we're gonna talk about this, and it's not definite because people want to know, hey, like, are they gonna find her since he tells us that? Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't think she's in the Rue River. I just don't think she is. But anyway, because he's saying that that's where he put her, we might as well, try to track some things down. Now, you guys do know if somebody is thrown in the river or something, they're going to float for a little bit and then they're going to sink down. As the body decomposes and the gases is coming out of a person's body, because gases is going to come up. Gases is going to be in a body. Once the breathing and all of that happens, you're not going to be able to sustain life, right? Because life is out of you. So you're going to have gases. Your body's going to stop working. Your system's going to shut down. That means your lungs, your liver, your heart, you know, all your systems. You got, well, how many systems you got? I mean, you know what I'm saying? You got skin, you got your reproduction systems, you got, liver, you got your kidneys, all that stuff, you got all that, So anyway, all that stuff stopped. So it's just like anything. Okay, those are things that's not working anymore. They're going to cause gas, right? And once they cause gas, what does gas do? Gas, just like if you put, helium gas, that's a gas. You put helium in a balloon, it's going to float up. That's the type of gas. Almost, if you can I'm just trying to get you to understand the type of gas that your body makes. So that's why the body just don't stay down on the bottom of the floor of the lake, or in a pond and things of that nature. It's gonna float, right? So um they didn't find her before. It's been years now, but it would have ended up in the Lake Erie, right? So, do they find people in Lake Erie or something? It's crazy. Let me see here. Okay, so this thing is saying, based on the location, you are likely referring to the Rue River, spelled with an O, or I mean with a U, uh, in southeast Michigan, which flows through Detroit. If you were to put a boat or raft or anything in the Rue River in the Detroit Dearborn area, here is where it would flow. Flow direction: the river flows generally southeasterly through Wayne County, passing through Dearborn. Final destination: the main branch of the river empties into the Detroit River near the westernly limit in the city of Detroit, close to Zug Island, and the Duray neighborhood. Key industrial areas is the lowest 1.5 miles of the river are highly industrial, having been widened and deranged to allow freighters access to the Ford Rue plant. Okay. Recreation areas up there, upstream areas are Rue Park in Detroit, offers more scenic park like surroundings, current status, while historians severely polluted. The river has undergone significant cleanup and serves as sometimes slow moving because of the urban waterways. There is also a Rue River in West Michigan near Grand Rapids, but that is a different river that flows into the Grand River. Okay, so we've seen that. But okay, so if the Rue River allows to empty in Lake Erie, is there a way to find a person that has drowned?
Yes, it's possible to find someone who has drowned in a river like the Rue River, which empties into Lake Erie. Search teams use sonar, dive teams, and even trained dogs. They focus on the area where the person went missing and downstream, as bodies often surface within a few days.
Hmm. So finding a drowned person in a river, they say emptying into Lake Erie, is possible. But there was this one group. I can't remember what the group was, but they would use those sonars to find cars that see. There's all different kind of sonars, so don't get it twisted. But the people that was looking for cars that has went into lakes and rivers and stuff, and nobody could see into the lake or river, because the cars, they didn't really think the cars was there. Those are like big magnets. Those are big magnets that they're not looking for a car. They're just looking for the metal. And the sonar sees some type of like a shadow, but it is drawn to magnet. So if you take a negative and a positive and you try to click them together, pow, they click together, right? You take a negative and a negative and you put it, and it bounces back. It won't let you get it close to it. It's shifted over here, shifted over there. I mean, it'll really hurt yourself if you got them in your hand and it flips around. Beth says, does anyone think that he's telling the truth? No, I don't think he is. Something with purpose. That's how they found Kylie. Yes, yes, but you got to remember, uh, yes, Tina hit it on the button. They was called ventures with a purpose. There you go. Tina said it was something with a purpose. That's who they were. You guys know what I'm talking about. You follow these cases, you get all this information, and you know what's going on. Now, I don't know about the sonar that you can use to find a person. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. Okay, it says finding a drowned person in a river emptying into Lake Erie is possible using sonar trained K9 units. K9 units can find people that's in water now. They used to didn't train those dogs to find people in water, but they can. They can now do that. I mean, you got to have a certain type of dog out here, but it can be okay. Using a sonar to find a person. What type of sonar will find a person that's drowned?
Side scan sonar is the primary technology used to locate drowned victims, providing detailed images of the water bottom. It helps map wide areas, which reduces risks to divers by directing them to specific locations.
Okay, so a side scan sonar is the primary technology used to locate drowning victims, offering high resolution imagings of the water bottom to identify targets. So it gives them a picture of the bottom. So, just like when fishermen go out, venture with the purpose. Let me see what she said. I don't think so either. I do not believe he's telling the truth. No, I don't think he's telling the truth. Exactly. So the side sonar considered the ideal tool for search and rescue. It maps large areas, including lake, rivers, or ocean bottoms, using acoustic reflections to create detailed images. It is highly effective in murky water where visibility is poor. Specialized portable device used by first responders and rescue teams for rapid real-time detections of people in the water. It can scan up to 85,000 square feet in under 5 minutes. Sometimes used for targeting high definition imaging of a specified area. Now, I want to share with you guys something. It can be done. It can be done because at a time when a person, they're talking about in 2 or 3 days the person float. But what happens after the 2 or 3 days? I don't think the person continues to float. And that's what we're missing, you guys. I think once a person, water gets in their system and in their body, it weighs them down. I mean, if they're in the water for, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 days, they're not going to continue to float. They then not going to float anymore. Because remember when we were looking for that little boy that allegedly was supposed to fall out the second floor window? I think his name started with a T. What was his name, you guys? Somebody in the building, tell me what that baby's name was. Anyway, and then the family came back and threw him back in the pool that was next to the apartment complex. The baby was at the bottom of the pool, okay? And they were like, we went through that whole pool, and they did. But somehow, Braylon Noble, okay, Tina's in the building. She was like, I remember these babies. Like, oh, you got a good memory, girl. So anyway, yeah, after a while, the body don't float anymore, and so adventure with the purpose. Miss Dee Dee done came in here and said who it was. It was adventure with the purpose. That's more like it. That is what it was. Adventure with the purpose. Yes, you are correct. I remember now. Adventure with the purpose. Now my husband wants to call me. I don't think so, sir. Like, no. Like I called you before. Okay, so I want to see. So they're saying like this sonar is like it says it can be it's handheld and is designed for quick, immediate on-scene searches by responders capable of scanning up to 85,000 square feet in under 5 minutes. Okay. Higher frequencies, often better resolutions. These technologies are often used to reduce the risk of divers. You don't want a diver off into that water. So let me ask another question about this because, we always want to know because we're not out there. She said, that's what I said. Okay, that's what you said, Tina. We got you, girl. I don't know if you said adventure, but I think you said venture. You said venture, and that's why, it just didn't resonate because you said venture. That's what you said right here. You said venture. And I think they do go by adventure. I don't know. It's same thing, okay? Same thing. You're smart. Everybody's smart. Let me see. If a body is drowning for a walk, okay, hold on. No. Let's do this. If a body is in a river for a month, does it float or does it drown? Does it stay below?
A body in a river for a month will likely float. Decomposition gases, such as CH4, H2S, and CO2, cause the body to become buoyant, usually within a few days. Although it might sink initially, it will rise to the surface once it bloats.
If a body is in a lake for a year, will it be floating or will it sink?
After a year in a lake, a body could sink, float, and then sink again. It initially sinks, but then, due to decay, it may float. However, after a year, the gases can escape, causing it to sink once more.
Wow. So after a year, a body in a lake for a year will likely have gone through a cycle of sinking, floating, and potentially sinking again due to decomposition. Initially, it sinks, but within days or weeks, gases from decay make it float, causing it to float. And then after a year, the gases often escape. There's no more gases, causing it to sink again. So they would definitely have to use a sonar to find her if she is in Lake Erie somewhere. Okay. Okay, now, okay, because we're just looking up stuff. We're just looking. Hey, how you doing? Misunderstood. How much do a sonar cost to find a person in a lake? How much do a sonar cost?
Sonar units to find someone in a lake can cost anywhere from $2,000 to over $30,000, depending on their features. Some specialized systems can even go higher, while smaller portable models start in the low thousands.
Oh, wow. But a high end professional search and rescue system can exceed over $35,000. I was just trying to see how much one of these things cost. What are they waiting for? Get out there and find her. Bryn says he is lying. So the budget is between 2,000 and 5,000 for a basic side scan. Where would you find one of these at? Low frequency can be used for smaller, shallow area, but the professional ones are $10,000 or more. Wow. Mm. Advanced side scan sonars, such as those from J.W. Fisher's, are used to map lake bottoms and identify. Okay, they call side scan sonars. Okay, let me just look up something real quick. Side scan sonars. Okay, so they got these little bitty ones for fish. I just kind of knew it was like if you wanted to see fish. But you know, then they got the hummingbird helix. Mm-hmm. And you just gotta know how to read those things. But let me see though. I want to see professional site sonars to purchase. Well,
A professional website enhances branding and user experience. It should be mobile friendly and easy to navigate.
a professional site sonar to purchase. Miss Didi says,
Professional saunas for home typically range from 36 to 64 square feet, with ceilings around 7 to 8 feet. Some top choice.
A professional site sonar. Oh God, they put sauna. I'm trying to say sonar. Professional site sonars.
Professional site owners are legally
Oh,
responsible
God.
for their website's content, domain,
That
and
is
security.
not what I'm saying.
However, true ownership depends on the.
Stop. Let me see. Professional. Let me just spell it. Because maybe I can't pronounce it right. Site sonar. Okay. Whoa. They got a Hyberg one for 3,000. They got a Garmin for 3,000. Wow, they got this $86. That ain't nothing. 13,000 multi-function. This one right here, this CED, it's a Marine, it's a Garmin 500. Let me see if they got any. Like sometimes you can go to some of these places and get them for a little of nothing. But I'm looking. Let me see. It's mainly Sona's cost range from under $100 for basic portable fish finders to over 35,000. Yes. So he's saying he put her in the river instead of taking her body to the garbage dump. Exactly. Yeah. Well, I was just seeing what the sonar does and you know, but they are very expensive things. Like, no, I can't see it. They're not even big. They're more just like your phone. It's weird. The thing is not even big, but it can see underwater and it can see fish and stuff like that. But, if you don't really know, like you don't have to be in a boat or anything. You could just walk along the river and it can just, you could probably see some stuff. I don't know. These things are just crazy what you can see. It's how good you can see it. I don't know. I'm looking at this thing. It says use eagle fish like 480 fish, finder GPS. Wow. They got it for 190 and it's black and white. This is a used Sonoscape pre-owned 9,000, but you got to be in a boat or something. I mean, it's kind of just like when you go, like if you was pregnant or whatever. Sonus calls. What about trying to reach out to the volunteers that find cars with bodies in the water that has been there for years? Well, their sonar that they have is for like magnet. They don't really look for people. They're looking for the vehicle. The vehicle, their sonar is matched with a magnet, and they get a high tense, uh, like pulling them towards it. Like if you threw a big old anchor in the water, they can find it because it's the metal. It's not looking for people. It's not looking for a particular person. They're looking for heavy metal presence. That's what their sonar can't find a person that's not in a car. That's different. If they were in a car, they can find her easily. You can call Adventure with a Purpose and say, hey, can we look for this person? Da 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 da. But she wasn't in a car. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, because we would reach out and say, hey, y'all look for this person, look for that person, come, let's look for this person. But they wouldn't come look because she didn't disappear in a car. So that's why we were looking at these different sonars and what do they do, and they're like the fishing sonars, and they can see in muddy water, and it's like looking at fish or a group of fish or a school. What they call a group of fish is a school, but nevertheless, it is what it is. And if you don't even know how to read one, to purchase something of this nature, it would be a waste. Why? It would be a waste. You don't know how to read these sonars. You just don't, I'm sorry to say. Just like when you go to the doctor and you're pregnant, and that's a sonar too, that's why they call it a sonogram, that's a sonar right there, sonar, and they put it on your belly and it goes through your skin. It actually don't go through your skin, but it takes a picture of, they know how thick your stomach layers of skin is, and veins and vessels and stuff like that, and water and the placenta and stuff. And so they see the baby. That's, but I mean, and then you look at the sonogram and you go, where's the baby? And they're trying to show you the foot, the hand, the this, the that, and you looking, it don't look like that unless it's, you're in your fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth month. You can probably identify what is the head and the feet and things. But at the beginning, you 4 weeks or a month, you can look at a sonogram all you want. You look, some people, just like the girl, say, I need you, SP, feel my baby. I'm 4 weeks. Girl, that baby is like a bean. That baby's a bean, like it don't have no features, okay? So she said she's gonna go get a sonogram. I'm looking at her like, okay. Okay. Hey Tina, she says, I'm finally here, SP, Maz and chat. Thank you for showing on up. Running behind in the live, so when they were searching for her in the river a month late, she would have been found with the gases releasing a month later, right? Exactly. You are exactly right. She would have been able, she would have been, floating. That's what it said. That's what they told us. So we look at information with the facts because that's what normally would happen. The gases will make them float. No matter if they were down, they will float. And it would take a while for all the gases to not be there, basically about a year. And then you won't have any more gases because your body is pretty much done. It is not going to make any more gases. It's like your gas done ran out. So now, when the water is in your body and things, it will go down, and won't float. You remember when they was looking for Braylon and he was at the bottom of the pool after the family threw him back in there. Well, you know, you know, his, I mean, you learn stuff and you see stuff and you get to a point where, you can just kind of like people that's out there that's looking, that lives close to that area. I'm just giving them information. I'm not in the Detroit area. If I was in the Detroit area, I would be out there on my day off like today with my dog and Diesel and I and everything and everybody will be out there. We will probably be doing lives and we will walk around the river bank and just to see what we can see because we don't have a sonar. We just don't. I might would purchase one, but as expensive as they are, I would try to find someone that will just let me use theirs or show me how to use it or something. I would connect with somebody that has something of that nature. You can always connect with somebody. But, I don't live in that Detroit area. They say use professional site scan sonar systems are available with top options. 12,000 to 24 is the top ones, but that don't mean that you're gonna know what you're looking at. You know, Brian said it's a game to him. Exactly, it is a game. It's a game to him. But like I said, you guys, he's not going to come on and tell us anything different. I don't believe he is. We're getting close to the countdown. We're 6, so we got 6 more days to go. Counting 2 days is going to be the weekend. So Thursday, we're not going to come on Wednesday because if we come on Wednesday, we might come on Wednesday and try to just be prepared. Let's just come on Wednesday too and be prepared for it because it's nothing like waiting on that day and nothing's changed. Okay? I'm just letting you guys know. Waiting on that day and nothing has changed. It's like waiting on your birthday and nobody even say happy birthday. Have that ever happened to you? You like, oh, my birthday coming. Oh, my birthday coming. And so you're like, tomorrow's my birthday. You done told everybody tomorrow's your birthday, and then your birthday come, and you see your family, and everybody's just doing what they do. They cooked today, and they went to the store, they went to school, they went to work, they cleaning the house and everything, and they're looking at you, you looking at them, and not one person said happy birthday to you. Has that ever happened? Or a holiday come and not one person said Merry Christmas or Happy Easter to you. They just, or your anniversary come. And this just happened, just our last anniversary. And normally, I think I probably always, bring it up and I'll say, our anniversary is in a couple of days and such. My husband never remembers it. I don't care if I can stamp it on his forehead, he still will forget. So our last anniversary, I woke up, I didn't say anything to him, and I just wondered, and the day went on. He went to work just like any normal day or whatever. Come home and da 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 da, and I was off work, and So the next day came, we done went to sleep, we didn't do anything. And I said, honey, you didn't even acknowledge our anniversary. And he was like, when? It's just the way people are. And I had to tell him, and he was like, well, I thought it was coming up. No, it was yesterday. It was yesterday. And some people, they be like, and I'm mad. I don't get mad. You know why? Because I look at it like this, and I'm just gonna keep it real with you guys. Whether he be in the building or not, I'm gonna say what I say. It wasn't important to you. It just really wasn't, and that's just the end of it. If it was, you would know. You would make time. You would do something. You would stamp it on your forehead or something. You would put it in a note or something or whatever. But evidently, it wasn't important. You don't remember it. But I bet you can remember your birthday, or you can remember your mother's birthday, or you can remember what day, this or whatever. But you can never remember what days that was so important that we went in front of God and we took vows. You don't remember that? Okay. Okay. I mean, even if you don't get the date right, you might get close to it. At least you acknowledge it. But time just goes and people just be like, oh, but you remember Christmas and the 4th of July and St. Patty's Day and the President's Day. I kid you not. But somebody that you said that you was going to spend your life with, you don't remember saying that. You don't remember what day you said that. Oh, that's crazy. But people are like that. Like I said, anytime that, and this is why I'm saying this, you guys, I'm not getting off key. Anytime something is important, if it is important, you will put time into it. Just like Naziah. Okay. So I don't think that they're going to put a lot of money and time into looking for her, because it's kind of like, she's not as important as Kylie, or whatever. Remember Kylie went missing? I mean, the whole world went looking for her. You had celebrities looking for her. They stopping what they doing. They're coming down. We had the dog, whatever his name was. People put out money so that, hey, if you needed that tool, you had the tool. You had the FBI, you had the sheriff, you had people from different counties, different states looking for this girl. And they wasn't going to stop. That's what I was telling you guys. It's kind of weird how when this girl went missing and this girl went missing, they were sitting on the lawns. They were camped out in front of the house. They didn't make them leave either. The TV stations was out there and the radio stations was out there. There was no one out there for Naziah. We had some YouTube channels trying to kick it off, and a little bit of Instagram, and some TikToks or whatever. But we didn't have national news like this girl should have had, because this was a 13. Actually, people were going on vacations and retiring, and that was settles that. The police didn't even reach back out until a month later. I mean, you guys, we have went over this and over this, and it's crazy how we see it. And I'm going to tell you something. I think we're conditioned to see it, and there's nothing we can do about it. We're waiting for somebody to do something. And, we can try, but we can't do it by ourselves. And if you try to do something, everybody will sit down and watch you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to tell you the difference between this race and that race. This race over here, They throw their nickels and quarters together and get things done. I'll call Bob and ask Bob to come over with his Jeep. And I'll call such and such and ask for a favor for this and for that and da 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 da. But these people over here, no. And maybe we don't have the tools. We just don't. We're not trying to have the tools. And when we try to have the tools, I mean, it's structured where we can't get the help, or, somebody's always wanting to take advantage and all kind of stuff. And we try to go one way and then somebody pulls us that way. We just don't know what we're doing, you know? But like I said, she says, I'm looking at the interrogation now. And when I hear him say it, I'm going to put that time stamp up so you all can hear it for yourselves. Girl, girl, girl. Ha, ha, ha. We're going to record it, but I don't think we're going to get to see it. I'm just being honest with you. Anyway, you guys, I just think that we don't look at our children as worthy. I don't think we do. So you can't really get mad at society because they don't give our children the worthy time, because we don't. We give up after some time. We be like, oh, And the sad thing about the whole situation, you guys, I'm going to tell you guys this, and it makes me sick. Sometimes I just don't say nothing, but it does. It makes me sick. And I'm going to say this. Hey, how you doing? How you doing, Lula? That before we can get something done, we start fighting. We start fighting with each other. You have somebody come in here, SP, you're ignorant. SP, you don't know nothing. Which they're not going to try to, like I said, I don't live in Detroit. You know, it takes a lot. Detroit is so far away from me. I would have to catch a plane to go. And then once I go, I don't know where I'm going. I can't depend on to meet somebody there that would be like, okay, let's go together and da 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 da. Because somebody would be like, well, I ain't got time and this, that, and the other. And then you don't know who you know what I'm saying? There's some people that, live in Detroit. They can go to Detroit. They know where they're going. You just can't go to a whole different state and start stirring up stuff. Like I know Texas. I can go to Texas because guess what? Texas is I'm not worried about going to Iowa, been to Iowa, because Iowa is not a hard state to go to and see what's going on. Just mind your business. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you don't know who to trust. And I'm going to tell you something. Detroit is not one of them states you just go to and be knocking on doors there. You just can't do that in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you something about Detroit. Been there. And I was told to stay with the crowd. Now, I ended up going to New York on vacation. And my husband was like, oh, I'm going to stay in the room. I don't feel good. I don't know what his problem is. He always got a problem. But nevertheless, I went out anyway, came from New Jersey, went on over to New York, got kind of lost. And somebody, I was walking down the street And because everybody walk in New York, and this guy was in one of the, what they call a stoop. He was in the bottom of the stoop, and he would come out and he said, "Come here," and then he would hide in the stoop. Girl, let me tell you, I said, "I'm going the other direction." He would come back out of the stoop, and he'd be like, "Come here." Girl, I knew I was in the wrong place. I didn't know him from Adam. I didn't know what he wanted. But I'm telling you, I knew I was in the wrong place. And I think I couldn't tell you if you told me the places in New York, I could tell you exactly where I was at, but right now I can't, you know? Like I just knew I was in a bad part of town, and I hurried up and went back close to the uptown area because I started going off into the residential area. And you could see people standing in line. I don't know what they were standing in line for, or something like, I don't know, to get a methadone shot or something, or a pill or whatever. I don't know, but that's what it seemed like to me. But nevertheless, I said to myself, let me get away from over here. Freddie says, "I apologize. I'm barbecuing ribs and chicken, girl, collard greens and candy yams, cornbread and 7-Up cake for family. Last outing before the move." Okay, that's all right. I don't know nothing about all that, you guys. I just wanted you guys to know that, we're going to come back on next week. I'll see you guys Monday. We'll do a little 5-10 minute live. I'll see you guys Wednesday. We'll get ready. But like I said, do not get all excited about Thursday, because I don't believe that. Trust and believe, when you sing these things, even if we get to see it or hear it, it is not going to be nothing new. It's not going to be anything new. Yes, Freddie, I see you in the building, my sweetheart. And but I would think, and I'm just saying for me, myself, you guys, that you know, I would like for them to find her, but I don't know how they're going to find her. I would like it. I don't know if it's going to give me any closure that they find her, because I don't think he's telling the truth, because Jarvis already told where he placed her, and that's not going to change. And they haven't found her. So, yeah. You say, look in my text. Okay, hold on. Because this phone is charged. Michael Vaughn. What's up with Michael Vaughn? Hmm? It's a bring your own. Huh? All right. Yes, yes, yes. So I need to get another phone. I probably need to go. Let me see. What's the date? Okay. I had it. Well, like I told you, it'd be charging. I just forget it'd be charged. And it does what it does. Let me see in the message. She said, "I'm trying to call you. You can call me now. I got the phone on." I got it on. I turned it on. You can call. Miss Phyllis put something in. Seems like the same shirt. Hello.
Hey, SP.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, so Stacy's preliminary hearing, or however you say that. So he's
Preliminary.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
So okay, so Stacy Wandra.
Tell her I said hi. Now what now?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, Freddie was saying Malaysia said she's here. I said, tell Malaysia I said hi.
Okay, so Stacy's preliminary hearing has started. Okay, so Stacy's wife, y'all, put this baby in a duffel bag, and he's talking to his mama, and he confessed that Sarah Wanderer put this baby in a tote, in a duffel bag, y'all, alive, and covered his mouth with tape. Now, since the surgery of Brandy Vaughn, she is looking great. She had a liver transplant. But anyway, his preliminary hearing has started. Now, Law and Crime has got the case, but they're not releasing it.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I thought that I would snatch it and I will give it to you. Did you get it?
No. Stuff is coming in now. Some stuff is coming in for Corey Bixby.
Yo. All right, well, I can send it to you if you want me to. Well, I can resend it or whatever.
So what's going on with them?
So okay, so Stacy was talking to his mother. Okay, so it's part of the evidence. Okay, so she's talking to Stacy, and she's saying, Stacy, what really happened to Michael? So what he told his mama was that Sarah put him in this duffel bag and she accidentally suffocated him. How in the world can you suffocate a baby? All right, so never mind that. She taped up his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it has already started Monday. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I apologize that, this is coming out now.
Yeah.
I didn't know it until last night. So that's what's been going on.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I would share that with the family.
That's the baby's name that they call Monkey, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then they try to put Tyler, which is Monkey's dad. They was trying to, okay, so they was trying to use Tyler, you didn't keep an eye on your child because you was smoking marijuana. And, he was like, well, I don't understand why that had to do with anything because I wouldn't do anything to my kid.
Yes. Well, so they're saying that, okay, Sarah, right?
Uh-huh.
Is she the one that did it?
Well, see, SB, you remember now, we don't know who did what because there's four, I don't want to get your channel, well, there's four people in this whole mix.
Right.
See?
Okay, but so who do they have arrested?
Well, they arrested all four.
Okay.
But Stacy is the one that's taking the beat down right now because he's been in trouble before.
Yeah.
Right?
And Stacy is the father?
No. father of Monkey.
Okay, Tyler's the father of Monkey. And Stacy is the girlfriend?
No, Stacy is one of the kidnappers. Remember, because Michael Vaughn wanted to go play with friends. Remember?
Next door. Was she next door or something? She was looking for Monkey too.
Something like I don't believe nothing that Sarah say.
Okay, so was she the one that was that did a live or something and had Monkey's picture on the refrigerator?
Exactly. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now I'm trying to remember. Okay. So they got her too, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So she the one. So basically, she the one that really took Monkey because she wanted a baby or something like that.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you're saying she accidentally killed him?
No, accidentally she did it. Well, I don't know who did it.
Okay.
Let's say allegedly.
Okay.
Okay, so I believe this is what happened.
Okay.
Monkey started wandering away from the house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And she picked the boy up in the car.
Somebody picked the baby up.
Right.
And then put the baby in the house. And then one thing led to another.
Yeah.
Okay, and then remember now, SP, they moved. Okay, remember when? Okay, so remember they buried Michael in their backyard. Remember?
Yeah.
And then they moved Michael to oh Lord, I forget the dude's name, but anyway, he had to go wash clothes. Remember when Stacy and all them had a laundry service? Remember all that?
Uh-huh.
Right. So where's Michael? That's all we want. Where's Michael?
Well.
And where's Naziah?
And Cody.
And Cody. And Harmony.
And King.
And King, exactly. Do I need to keep saying these babies' names?
Well, here's the thing. You know, the ones that they find, because you remember those two girls that had the same name. Can't remember their names now. The two girls that was up there. Started, I almost said Malia. You know, people get desperate and they really don't have that mindset of what they do, and they just do something, you know. And she was out in the open, and they still couldn't find her until, you know, he said some things, told some people, and they went out looking, trying to get the reward and all this other stuff, and then they ran over her with the lawnmower. It's just, you know, like, it's just a hot mess. But people that have been paying attention to crimes and stuff, they know how to get rid of a baby now. They know now. And
well, I thought I had to catch it before we went off alive, but
Monkey been gone for a while.
Yeah. And you know, it makes me upset that they could find all these other people. But what about the people before them? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but
what about these other kids?
It's been a long time.
Yes. And you know, we still want Monkey, and we still want Naziah, and we still want Cody, and we still want Harmony.
Yeah.
I mean, come on now.
You know, that one little girl, that Marie Gonzalez, they found her underneath the bed.
Yeah.
You know.
And then not too long ago, you saw about those two other little girls in Ohio, didn't you?
Yeah.
2 more babies was found in the suitcase.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, and in these cases, they're not getting any better.
They're just getting worse. rougher and harder. But you know what, SP, and I hate to say this, but Corey and Jarvis and Sarah and Stacy, they ain't got a bit of truth that allow them to set them free.
Exactly.
None of them.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
But yeah, that's all I needed. I was taking a peek at it last night because I go to I snoop around.
Yeah, you
But
everywhere.
anyway,
Yeah.
I admit it. I snoop. Yes, I do. I snoop. But I thought I would share that with y'all.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And if you want me to, I'll send the article over again.
I see it. I see it right now.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right.
All righty.
All right.
All right. So what she was talking about, it says, as of early March 2026, this is March, and this is early March, because today is just March the 6th. It says the case regarding the 2021 disappearance and the death of 5-year-old Michael, his name is Monkey Vaughn, has moved to a critical stage, with a judge ruling that the man accused of killing him will stand trial. Here are the latest updates from the preliminary hearing held in Pinette County. Suspects bound over for trial on March the 5th, which was yesterday. A judge found significant probable cause to send the case against Stacy to district court. Charges: Stacy Wandra is charged with first-degree murder, second-degree kidnapping, destruction, concealment of evidence, and a persistent violator charge. Graphic details. During the preliminary hearing, it was revealed that Stacy told investigators that Michael was duct taped, placed in a duffel bag, and transported in a truck. Wander claimed in an interview that then his wife Sarah and others were involved, suggesting the boy died by suffocation. While Wander indicated to the police that the body was initially buried in his backyard, a massive excavation of the property did not recover Michael's remains. While Stacy is currently the only person charged with the murder, authorities have previously named 4 suspects in total, including his ex-wife Sarah and 2 others who lived with them at the time, Brandon and Adrian. Parents' testimony. Michael's parents, Brandy and Taylor Vaughn, testified during the preliminary hearing regarding the initial emotional moments. The investigation has been ongoing for nearly 5 years, and the court proceedings are expected to continue to determine when the formal trial will begin. Okay. Okay. Well, now we know. Now we know. And then this is what it says. They was in court Monday for a statute hearing held further legal proceedings at the magistrate's court level. Nate, the spokesman for the Idaho judicial branch, explained that the hearing this week are for the prosecution to present enough evidence to the magistrate judge, Bryant Lee, that they have enough evidence to move the case to district court for a felony trial. The court has set aside Tuesday, March the 3rd through Friday, March the 6th. Though it is unclear yet how much of that time will actually be needed. Brandy, the mother, Michael, was in attendance for the hearing on Monday. She told Idaho News that she briefly made eye contact with the man accused of killing her son, but said Stacy quickly looked away and turned bright red. Everyone in the courtroom is under strict conduct and behavior guidelines. Brandy included. When asked what she would say to Stacy if she were able, she said she would ask, "Where is Michael? What did you do to Michael?" Over and over again until she got a response. Michael disappeared nearly 4.5 years ago near his home in Idaho. Be in the courtroom this week, and we will continue to update you as the case moves forward. Affidavits shared new light on what police believe happened to Michael. What we know, suspects charged 4 years after Michael's disappearance. I'm happy that they're still on the case and still looking, because 9 times out of 10, you know, they just quit looking and charging people and everything. But it just seems to me that this guy, Stacy, told them that they buried the baby, and that other people was involved, and he don't know where the baby is at now. So he's just saying, this person was involved, Sarah was involved, da 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 da. Why? Why would you take, just tell me, why would you take somebody else's child to just kill the person's child? That doesn't even, I mean, that's just as evil as it get. I mean, like, why? Why? That does not even make sense. Let's look at the affidavit real quick. Okay. A little more than 4 years ago, Michael vanished from the house. Two suspects in the kidnapping, the Michael, when he was taken from his home July the 27th, 2021, but with no signs of him anywhere. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. First sat down with Brandy, Michael's mother, in December that year. Nearly a year and a half after his disappearance, the first significant break in the case came when Fruitland police began tearing apart and digging up the backyard of a home just a few blocks from where Michael first went missing. Police were digging for the remains after receiving a tip that he had been buried there. The home belonged to Stacy and Sarah Wandra. We would later learn through leaked police footage that Stacy was directing police via video call to where he claimed Sarah had buried the body of Michael. The police did not find Michael's remains. Through the Fruitland police chief said he believed that Michael's remains were likely there at one point, but later moved. A statement from the prosecutor, Michael Duke, Iowa, says that our foremost hope has always been to recover Michael, but delays now risk further harm to his loved one. We believe we know the individuals involved and are committing to pursuing justice with or without Michael's recovery. Stacy and Sarah were named as suspects more than 2 years ago by the Fruitland police, and probably because affidavits were forwarded to that county. Repeated questions and inquiries from Idaho News about why they had been no movement and was taking so long largely went unanswered. Sarah was arrested and charged with crimes unrelated to the disappearance of Michael. She had been serving a 3-year fixed sentence for aggravated assault, amongst other charges. Stacy has been incarcerated in Arizona, also on unrelated charges, though he was set to be released from jail this week. Stacy will be extradited to Iowa to face charges related to the kidnapping and murder of Michael. So they were arrested on unrelated charges. So somebody says, this has weighed so heavy on my heart so long. If there is some sort of closure and truth of what happened, it would be a sad relief. Well, hopefully they have the correct suspects. What a sad, horrible mess. Whoever did it can look at life in prison if convicted. Iowa does not appear to have any enforceable death penalty. Okay. Says this is the third high profile case where it appears that the prosecutor is weak. It's kind of embarrassing. Hopefully they nail those two, but it doesn't bode where that the arrest seemed to come because he was about to be released. Yeah, I guess they was getting ready to release Stacy. So are they saying he was taken from the home now, or is it just poor wording? No, they're saying he was taken. They're saying he was taken. He was kidnapped. And Stacy and Sarah. So, it has been a long time, like 4 or 5 years, and then they were just saying something. It says here, let's see. Nearly 5 years, Stacy returned to the county courthouse Thursday for the third day of his preliminary hearing, facing charges of first. I wonder if we can get that hearing. Oh, let's see. Let me see.
Nearly 5 years after 5-year-old Michael Vaughn vanished from his front yard, the man accused of killing him faced a judge again today. Stacy Wondra returned to a Fayette County courtroom for the third and final day of his preliminary hearing today. The judge just returned to the courtroom and decided to send the case to district court. He says prosecutors presented sufficient probable cause. The prosecution wrapped up its evidence this afternoon and presented closing arguments. The defense made their case, saying the prosecution is guessing what happened to Michael and that they didn't prove probable cause to send the case to district court. Take a listen.
They took every effort imaginable to try to hide from this crime, and they were very good at it, frankly, but not perfect.
It surpasses reason to think that a little boy was kidnapped and died and buried, and they didn't find anything. But at the end of the day, what Detective Kelleher thinks, what the state thinks, it doesn't matter. It's what they can prove.
Wondra faces charges of first-degree murder, kidnapping, destruction of evidence, and persistent violator in the death of Vaughn, the Fruitland boy known to his friends and family as Monkey, who disappeared in July of 2021. Prosecution amended their complaint this afternoon, removing premeditation from the murder charge. And this morning, a video call between Wondra and his mom was shown while a Fruitland police detective was on the stand. In that call, Wondra is crying and telling his mom he's sorry, saying he wouldn't have gotten involved in any of this if not for his then wife, Sarah. Wondra's mom tells him he needs to cooperate and tell the police the entire truth about what happened to Michael.
Baby, is Michael alive?
Oh, he's shaking his head no.
Sarah accidentally killed
How?
suffocation. They put it in a duffel bag.
Put him in a duffel bag.
How was that an accident?
She didn't realize there was too much clothes on top.
She didn't realize there was too much clothes on top
Why
of
did
it.
she take it?
It needed duct tape.
Now, during interviews with detectives shown yesterday in court, Wondra points the finger at Sarah and his roommates, Adrian Lucien and Brandon Shirtliff, claiming they kidnapped Michael to sell him. accidentally suffocated him in a
Okay.
duffel bag, and then buried
I
his
got a
body
mess
in their
out there on the
backyard.
corner on the
Wonder is
curb
actually
too.
the only one facing charges currently, though, for the kidnapping and murder of Michael Vaughn. Our Morgan Romero will have more from inside the courtroom today, coming up on the news at 6. But again, we have just heard the judge ruling that this case will move forward, will move now to district court.
Okay. It's gonna go to district court. Okay, well,
My new
that's
Blink
what's
Outdoor
gonna
2 Plus
happen.
only took a few minutes
Hold
to set
on.
up.
It's gonna show us a commercial. So I think Diesel just made a mess. Anyway, I gotta go pick up my meds. Anyway, you guys, I was gonna just be on here for 30 minutes, and it has been an hour and 30. I'm gonna get off here because I've been on here way too long. I will see you guys Monday. Have a peaceful Friday. Do something fun or whatever, Just hang out or whatever. But I will see you guys later. Bye.